Good afternoon to everybody. Welcome to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There will be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your faces in the video. A reminder after the pep talk is to take the online learning cum evaluation test exercise for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this. I have placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please turn on your video now. Show your beautiful faces. Set, get. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's get another shot. I'm sorry, something went wrong. Let's get another shot. Okay. Everybody's ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's resume. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course in October 9, 2021, same year when we started. And then from October 23, 2021 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder and health issue courses. May 17, last week, marks the start of year 5 of the RO Hoson Pep Talk. How long the pep talk will last will depend on the enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance of everybody, me and also you. My pep talk today is entitled Patient Story, PLT, which stands for Tell, Learn, and Teach. The specific title will be Thyroid, ThyREDS 4, there's a 4 there, and colloid nodule, responsive to medical therapy. The empowerment objective is to have an essential understanding of a patient with a thyroid, ThyREDS 4. When you say ThyREDS 4, it's suspicious for malignancy, and colloid nodule, but which responded to medical therapy. The contents of the pep talk this afternoon will be the following. I'm going to tell a story, then I'll give you some pointers, some giveaway. Okay. So I'll be specifically discussing what is a ThyREDS, what is ThyREDS 4. So there are various types of categories, 1 to 5, ThyREDS 1 to 5. I will be focusing on ThyREDS 4. Then the next issue subtopic will be, can a ThyREDS 4 turn out to be benign, such as a colloid adenomatous nodule? Can a colloid adenomatous nodule respond to medical therapy? And then some takeaways from the patient's story. Disclaimer, the R.O. Hawson Pep Talk contains my thoughts, perceptions, and opinions and recommendations culled from my personal experiences, as well as reading the writings of other professionals. So let's start with the patient's story. RBG was age 61 when she first consulted me in August 8, 2023 for her thyroid concern. Originally, she had a 2.9 centimeter right thyroid nodule with a reading of a ThyREDS 4 category on ultrasound. But despite that, my diagnosis was a colloid adenomatous nodule, which is benign. I treated her with levothyroxine, 100 microgram per day, then 200 microgram per day, and then 150 microgram per day, and then 100 microgram per day, so reducing the dose after positive response. After 1.5 months, the nodule had decreased in size. So clinically, the palpable nodule was no longer palpable, hindi na makakapa after 1 year of medicine. Ultrasonographically, the mass also decreased from 2.9 to 0.6 centimeter in 1.5 years time. So at the end of the 1.5 years, clinically, there was no palpable thyroid nodule anymore, and ultrasound showed there was resolution and no recurrence of the left lobe nodules, and there was an overall positive response to the medical suppressive therapy. Despite the continuous decrease in the size of the right thyroid nodule, the ultrasonographers did not change their ThyREDS 4 categorization. When you say ThyREDS 4, again, it's a moderate suspicion for malignancy. So this causes undue anxiety on the part of the patient whenever she would see the report of the phrase ThyREDS 4. So this is an issue that I have to resolve with ultrasonographers. This will entail another write-up on this one. So the details of the story will be the following. RBG, I think she's from Aklan, was age 61 when she first consulted me in August 8, 2021 for her thyroid concern. She was previously seen by at least 2 physicians, an endocrinologist and a surgeon, and was advised to have a thyroid operation. She came to me on August 8, 2023 for another opinion. This could be the third or second or fourth opinion already on her thyroid concern. So this was my first medical records for her first thyroid consult with me on August 8, 2023. I'll expound on this. So there was a palpable nodule on the right lobe. On my palpation, on my estimation, it was about 3 centimeters. It was not hard, so with no neck nodes, Kulani, and the pulse rate was 80 per minute. The ultrasound done on August 1, 2023, which she presented to me, showed a 2.9 centimeter nodule on the right lobe with a scoring of thyroids 4, as well as many small nodules on other parts of the thyroid gland, including the left lobe. But these nodules, other nodules aside from the 2.9 nodules, were not palpable. So I don't have a copy of the official ultrasound done on August 1, 2023, but this is a summary of the report. So it was based on the thyroids 4 reporting on ultrasound that the previous endocrinologist and surgeon who saw her recommended operation, because thyroids 4 stands for moderately suspicious for cancer or malignancy. My diagnosis after my physical examination, after my kapa, and after evaluation of her ultrasound, despite the thyroids 4 reading or reporting, was MCAG, which stands for multiple colloid adenomatous goiter, which is a benign condition or a benign diagnosis. So it's not cancer. So we discussed the options after my diagnosis. Number 1, medicine without biopsy. Number 2, needle biopsy, then depending on the result, either medicine or operation. But she opted for a needle biopsy. So given these options, she said, okay, let's have a needle biopsy first. Here. So these are the records on the option, medicine. Then, if needs be, we do the biopsy. And then the other option is biopsy now. Okay. So depending on the result, it could be just medicine or an operation. If it's cancer, we have to operate. So the results of the needle biopsy showed hemorrhagic aspirate. Although strictly speaking, the results showed inadequate sampling, but based on my gross examination of the needle aspirate, I maintained my diagnosis of colloid adenomatous nodule. So the results of the needle biopsy show this one, hemorrhagic aspirate, but based on my gross examination, I was able to obtain 2 cc of colloid fluid with residual mass, so I maintained my diagnosis of colloid adenomatous nodule. We discussed the options again after my diagnosis and after the needle biopsy. So the options were medicine and operation. So she opted for a trial of medical therapy. Thus, I started her on levothyroxine at 200 microgram per day. Here, done, trial of medical suppressive therapy. Okay. Starting with 100 microgram per day muna, and then after 1 week, if there are no side effect, no adverse event, then we increase it to 2 tablets once a day. I saw her on November 14, 2023, after her ultrasound, so that was 3 months after the initial consult. So there was no decrease in the size of the nodule at this time. So three months after I started her on levothyroxine. So I have to decrease the dosage of the levothyroxine to 150 microgram per day because she was complaining of weight loss. So I adjusted the dosage, but I asked her to have a repeat ultrasound after 3 months. The ultrasound done after 3 months showed disappearance of some cyst. Ibig sabihin, may gumagana yung gamot, but with unchanged size in the 2.9 centimeter nodule on right lobe. Yung nakita dati na 2.9, no change in size, and still with a thyroid sport categorization. So this was the report of the ultrasound. Smooth mixed solid cystic nodules with neural lesions and punctate echogenic foci 2.9 centimeter. So thyroid spore pa rin. The next visit was 6 months after the initial consult, February 27, 2024. The right thyroid nodule this time from 3 centimeter in August 23, lumiit na siya to 1.5 to 2 centimeter in February, or 6 months after taking the medicine. And this was confirmed by the ultrasound. So ito yung ultrasound niya 6 months after medicine. So decrease in the size of the nodule on the right lobe from 2.9 to 2.5. So konti lang liit, pero lumiit. No? But the radiologist still maintained thyroid spore category, which stands for moderately suspicious for malignancy. So the next visit was 1 year after after the initial consult. No? So that was in September 24. Again, with a repeat ultrasound to monitor the changes. Now, the thyroid, on palpation, sa kapalang, nawala na yung bukol. So here, I note down, no more palpable thyroid mass. Compared to last time, it was 1.5 centimeter, 1 to 1.5. The ultrasound showed a further decrease in the size from 2.5 to 1.1 na. So nung umpisa, 2.5 to 2.1, then ngayon to 1.1 na. But the thyroid spore reading was maintained by the ultrasonographer. So ito yung official report. No? From 2.5, naging 1.8, naging 1.1 na. Okay. So next visit, another follow-up, March 2025. So itong taon lang ito, okay, about a month or 2 ago. So again, there was no palpable thyroid mass. Okay. 1.5 years after taking the medicine, 1.5 years. And the ultrasound showed a further decrease, mas lumiit pa, in the size of the right thyroid nodule from 1.1 to 0.7. But still, the ultrasonographer maintained a reading of thyroid spore, meaning still moderately suspicious for cancer. So this is the official result on March 2025, 1.5 years on medicine. It showed further decrease in the size of the thyroid nodule from 1.1 naging 0.7. So executive summary again for the case. RBG was age 61 when she first consulted me in August 8, 2023 for her thyroid concern. Originally, she had a 2.9 centimeter right thyroid nodule based on the ultrasound with a thyroid spore category on ultrasound, which means moderately suspicious for malignancy. My diagnosis was a colloid adenomatous nodule, despite the diagnosis given by the radiologist as thyroid spore. I treated her with levothyroxine, 100 microgram, then 200, then 150, then 100. Okay. Titrating the dose. Kung di pa lumilit, tataas. Kung lumilit na, ibababa. So reducing the dose after positive response. And then after 1.5 years of treatment, this should be after 1.5 years, the nodule had decreased in size. So the nodule was no longer palpable after 1 year of medicine. And ultrasound showed that the mass decreased from 2.9 to 1.5 in 1.5 years time to 2.9 to 0.6. So at the end of 1.5 years, there was no longer palpable thyroid nodules. And then ultrasound, there was resolution. There was no resolution or no recurrence. There was a resolution, but no recurrence of the left thyroid lobe. And there was an overall positive response to the medical suppressive therapy. So despite the continuous decrease in the size of the right thyroid nodule, and the ultrasonographers have not changed the thyroid's categorization. Again, as I said, when they say thyroid's 4, it's moderate suspicion for malignancy. So this causes undue anxiety on the part of the patient whenever she would see thyroid's 4. So end of the patient's story. Now for the learn and teach, what is a thyroid? What is thyroid's 4? Can a thyroid 4 turn out to be benign, such as colloid adenomatous nodule? Can a colloid adenomatous nodule respond to medical therapy? Then some takeaways from the patient's story. What is a thyroid? Thyroid stands for Thyroid Imaging Reporting R and a Data D system. Okay. So kung sa breast yan, there's a similar system in the breast. They call it BI-RADS. Instead of thyroid, papalitan lang yung thyroid to breast. So magiging BI-RADS. BIRADS. So prostate, ganun din. You can have BI-RADS naman. Prostate Imaging Reporting and Data System. So thyroid is a risk assessment reporting system for thyroid nodules. So thyroid is for thyroid nodules. On ultrasound, containing a standardized scoring system for reports providing users with recommendations for when to use a needle biopsy, when to have an ultrasound follow-up of suspicious nodules, and then when to say that you can safely leave the nodules alone that are benign and not suspicious. So it's a guide on what to do with all those nodules, whether you have to do a needle aspiration biopsy, or we just have to have follow-up only. Thyroids was developed by radiologists and ultrasonographers as a guideline on how to manage thyroid nodules properly and rationally, and how to reduce unnecessary interventions like needle biopsy and the thyroidectomy operation itself. So the main background reasons for this is that the thyroid nodules were exceedingly common, leading to costly intervention for many lesions that ultimately prove benign, meaning a lot of unnecessary interventions are being done. Kaya gusto nila i-limit yung mga to prevent those unnecessary procedures. In the Philippines, the American College of Radiology thyroid's version is being used. So this is what I will be discussing here using the American College of Radiology versions. What is thyroids? Okay. Again, the scoring system yan. So the scoring is determined from 5 categories of ultrasound findings. The higher the cumulative score, the higher the TR or the thyroid's level and the likelihood of malignancy. So before the scoring is done, the ultrasonographer looks at the characteristics of all thyroid nodules present on the ultrasound. So only nodules are included in the thyroid scoring. Kung yung namamagalang yung thyroid, hindi kasama. Yung nodules lang kung nakita sa ultrasound, yan is score ng radiologist. So here are the 5 parameters that they use: composition, echogenicity, shape, margin, and echogenic foci. And then for here, may different categories. Kung cystic, 0 point. Kung spongiform, 0. Kung mixed solid cystic, 1 point. Kung purely solid, 2 points. No? Okay. And then yung mga shape naman, wider than tall, may 0. And then taller than wide, 3 points. So i-add lang yung mga points in this category. Pag lumabas ay total ay 0 lang. So magiging thyroid's 1, which is benign. So no need for needle biopsy. Then kung the total score is 1.2, they categorize it as thyroid's 2, not suspicious pa. Okay, no needle biopsy is recommended. Kung thyroid's, kung 3 points, magiging thyroid's 3, mildly suspicious. So then may size category dito. Kung ang size ng thyroid 3 nodule is 2.5 cm, then, or bigger, then they recommend a needle biopsy. Kung maliit lang, less than 2.5, then pwedeng i-follow up lang, i-check, i-monitor lang. Now, if the total points is 4 to 6, then they categorize it as thyroid 4, which is moderately suspicious, again, depending on the size. Kung 1.5 centimeter yung bukol with moderately suspicious thyroids, then they would recommend fine needle. If less than 1.5, follow-up lang, walang biopsy. Then kung 7 points or more, it becomes thyroid 5, highly suspicious. Again, there's a size delineation here. Kung more than 1 or 1 centimeter, they would recommend a needle biopsy. Kung less than that, 0.5 or 0.5, sabihin natin 0.5, just follow up. So here, just show a summary of that thyroids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then up to the points, number of points assigned, and then yung mga description, how, in terms of suspicion for malignancy. So ito, benign, not suspicious, mildly suspicious, moderate, highly suspicious. And then dito naman, titingnan yung risk of malignancy. Kung thyroid 3, 4.8. Kung mildly suspicion, merong 4.8 risk for malignancy. From thyroid 4, 9.1. And then for TR5, 35%. Okay. So ito yung mga recommendation, no biopsy for 1 and 2. Okay. Follow up lang. Ito naman, depende sa size. Kung may size na 2.5, 1.51, kailangan ng recommendation is needle biopsy. And then usually may recommendation din sila sa mga how you follow up these patients na kung i-observe lang. So pwedeng i-follow up for thyroid 3, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. Kung thyroid 4, mas frequent, 1, 2, 3 years, and then 5 years. And then kung thyroid 5, yearly for 5 years. So what is thyroid 4? Let's now focus on thyroid 4. Thyroid 4 is moderately suspicious for cancer. So it has a total score of 4 to 6, and it has a risk of malignancy at 9.1. So 91% pa rin. There's most likely benign pa rin yan. So risk for malignancy is 9.1 lang. So 91% benign pa rin. So can thyroids 4 turn out to be benign, such as a colloid adenomatous nodule? Kasi kadalasan when the layman sees a report of thyroids 4 na merong wording na suspicious for malignancy, nakafocus lang sila sa cancer. Ay, baka cancer ito. So let's turn the table around. Sabihin natin, can it turn out to be colloid cyst? As I said kanina, yung chances of malignancy in thyroid 4 is just 9.1. 91% will still be benign. Okay? So the answer to this question is yes, because thyroid is just a scoring system to which tells the likelihood of the thyroid nodule being benign or malignant. The malignancy is just 9.1 rate. Malignancy rate is just 9.1. So the likelihood of benignity is still more than 90%. So a more positive and not alarming way of putting a label on thyroid 4 is we can say it's most likely benign. In the presence of the multiple nodules in which there is a reading of thyroid 4 in one nodule, and there are other cystic or complex nodules, the more likely specific diagnosis is colloid adenomatous nodule for the one labeled as TR4, and for the total diagnosis of multiple colloid adenomatous goiter. So a thyroid 4 nodule can turn out to be benign. So just like in this particular patient, one nodule was classified as thyroid 4, pero marami siyang nodules, may mga cystic nodules, kaya ako nagbigay ng diagnosis ng colloid adenomatous goiter. So can a colloid adenomatous nodule respond to medical therapy? That's another associated issue in this pep talk. Yes, kasi a lot of endocrinologists, a lot of surgeons do not believe that they will respond to medical therapy. Kaya usually, madali ang reflex nila to suggest an operation. No? So for me, the answer is yes, as seen in the patient's story, and this is well documented. So majority of colloid adenomatous nodule will respond to a patient. Just be perseverant, magtiyagaan lang, long term, the right dosage, given the right dosage, kasi kung minsan kulang ang amount, kaya hindi siya lumiliit, then sasabihin na, pa-opera ka na kasi hindi siya lumiliit. No? So, kailangan may right dosage siya. So, response means decrease in size. So, when I talk about response, it will be decrease in size, but not always totally disappearing. So, there are two ways of interpreting response. Response, yung isa, totally nawawala, baka yun sinasabi mga nagpro-propose ng operation, di kasi totally nawawala, no? Kaya pa-opera mo na, no? But the other meaning of response is lumiliit to the size that it's not, hindi siya malaki, no? Hindi siya cosmetically disturbing, no? And there's no need to be operated. Kasi one reason for operating for benign colloid adenomatous nodule is the size. Kung malaki, obviously, pangit tingnan sa leeg, na ayaw lumiit, no, kitang-kita, may bulge, may bosyo, then that could be that's usually one of the reasons why we operate, no? Yung for cosmetic reason. Pero kung benign siya, pwedeng hindi. Pwedeng hindi operahan, pwedeng gamot lang. The big ones, such as those more than 10 centimeters like this, are usually not responsive anymore. Masyadong malaki na. However, medical suppressor can initially be tried for at least 1 year with informed consent, meaning we just have to tell the patient, maliit ang chance, but if you don't like to have an operation, okay lang, we can still try. Who knows, baka lumit din. So there's nothing, wala namang absolute everything in life. Pwedeng lumiit siya, kahit nabira, pwedeng lumiit. No? So you can try medical suppressive therapy kahit na malaki. Okay? Pero kung sinabing pasyente, gusto ko pa-opera, then we go to the operation. But if the patient doesn't want an operation, and if it's benign, basta benign siya, diagnosis, we can still give a trial of medical suppressive therapy. So some takeaways from the patient's story. Don't be alarmed at the thyroid 4 or even thyroid 4 right away. So thyroid 4 is moderately suspicious for cancer. Thyroid 5, highly suspicious for cancer. So pag narinig natin yan, suspicious for cancer, highly, moderately, magpapanik na tayo, nakabahan na tayo. So then look at the thyroid 4 as more likely to be benign rather than focusing on the moderate suspicion for cancer. So make a different perspective in the interpretation. Okay? So kung thyroid 4, kahit na sinabi niya moderately suspicious, 91% will still be benign. Malaki na yun. Have a thyroid specialist to interpret the thyroids for you. Kasi importante, ma-examine ka ng isang thyroid specialist, not just based on the ultrasound. So the thyroid specialist will be doing a correlation of the clinical findings and descriptive findings on the ultrasound. So he or she will also factor in the inaccuracies of the ultrasonographer's interpretation. So it's a known fact that since yung ultrasound is very operator dependent, depende kung sinang gumagawa, sa maraming inaccuracy din sa mga interpretation. So consider ng thyroid specialist yun at binabangga niya sa mga physical findings niya, yung findings niya sa kapa. No? Okay. So then, let him or her explain and make a recommendation on what to do next. So he will make a recommendation after doing a correlation between the findings, clinical findings on physical exam, and the ultrasound findings. So wag yung thyroid specialist na basta maniniwala lang sa report of the ultrasound, dapat kakapain yung leeg, dapat kapain pa rin ang leeg ninyo. No? So, in the end, the thyroids may change for the better in due time. Pwedeng magbago yan. No? Okay. Kung hindi siya magbago, it will be dependent on the thyroid specialist on how he will interpret. No? Kasi last time we also discussed the patient, kahit na nagbago na siya, lumiting size, thyroid spore pa rin. Hindi siya nawawala. No? Okay, hindi siya binabago. No? Then don't be alarmed at thyroids 3 to 5 right away also. And then look and consult kasi thyroid 3 is mildly suspicious, ganun din ang term, no? May suspectia, mildly lang. 4 is moderate, 5 is highly suspicious. So look and consult an excellent thyroid specialist to examine you, to interpret the thyroid ultrasound findings and the thyroid scoring, and to advise you what to do next. So what do I call an excellent thyroid specialist? It's a clinician, a physician who deals with patients with a thyroid concern and who have many years of experience and who do physical examination. Importante ito. So dapat yung thyroid specialist is doing physical examination. Kung kahit na sinabi niya thyroid specialist siya, kung di siya nagkumakapa ng leeg, medyo may problema. So, doubtful yon as to the competency. Then, who can correlate clinical findings with the lab results? No? Ibabangga niya. Huwag lang just tatanggapin lang yung ultrasound finding. Kung ano sinabi sa ultrasound, susundin na lang niya. No? So he has to correlate the physical exam findings with the ultrasound results. No? So these are the minimum qualifications. So summary and takeaway, I have presented a patient with a thyroid concern, with a thyroid 4, and then turned out to be, most likely it turned out to be colloid nodule because it responded to medical therapy. Okay. Kahit na may thyroid 4 siya, it can respond to medical therapy because the thyroid 4 will turn out to be benign. Kahit na ang interpretation is highly suspicious for malignancy. So I have discussed the following. What is a thyroid? What is a thyroid 4? Then a thyroid 4 turn out to be benign, such as colloid adenomatous nodule, which is the most common. And then a colloid adenomatous nodule respond to medical therapy? The answer here is yes. I have given you some takeaway from the patient's story. So takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on the management of thyroid ultrasound, thyroids 4, and colloid adenomatous nodule. Knowledge is power, it gives power. Use the 4 keys of empowerment: kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions on the management of thyroid ultrasound, thyroids 4, and colloid adenomatous nodule as part of your health management. This ends my pep talk today. Patient story, TLT, thyroids 4, and colloid nodule responsive to medical therapy. I hope I have empowered you to have an essential understanding on this topic. Before we go to the QA portion, reminder, after the pep talk, please take the Olete. I placed the link in the chat box already. And then another reminder, obtaining 25 Olete certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO host on medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Then another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum before we adjourn. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video now. Please show your beautiful faces. Okay. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The floor is now open for questions, comments, recommendations, suggestions, and also consultation. Short consultation, pwede. Okay. So any questions? So actually, this is a follow-up of a continuation of the last time. We also talk about TIRADS, no? TIRADS. So I pointed out yung mga flaws, no? Okay. This time, kasi maraming natatakot sa TIRADS 4, the moment maraming may TIRADS 4, no? And maraming natatakot. And then, usually, pag mga TIRADS 4, kung yung size ay malaki na, no? Sabihin ng mga ibang doktor, operahan na. Operahan, no? Okay. So, sa akin, depende. It's not always that you need to undergo the operation. And from my experience, most of the time, hindi kailangan, no? Okay. Mas common pa rin yung mga benign. More than 90% of thyroid goiter, thyroid nodules are benign pa rin, no? As high as 95% mga, no? So mga 5% lang ay malignant, no? Pwede pa naman bantayan, no? Kung malignant siya, pwedeng bantayan kung siguradong pag lumalaki at pwedeng habulin pa, no? Okay. So any question? Okay, there is a question by chat. Okay. Ultrasound results normally has thyroid scoring, but how do we differentiate or diagnose if the patient thyroid nodule is a colloid, just a colloid cyst or cancer? How to differentiate? Okay, it's true that marami na ngayon may thyroid scoring na kasama. Dati-dati wala yung thyroid scoring. They just describe whatever the findings are. Sasabihin nila, sasabihin ng mga ultrasonographer, yung kung may nodules, ilan nodules, yung iba kasi sa dami, hindi nila ini-specify. Yung iba namang ultrasonographers, matyaga, iniisa-isa nila. Binibilang nila at dinidescribe niya isa-isa. No? Tapos, pag yung mga bawat nodules, i-describe nila kung solid or cystic, that's one, no, sa ultrasound. And then, yung size, of course. And then, meron silang yung mga margin, angular margin, ganon, no? And then, yung taller than wide, okay? Okay. So, dati-dati wala yung mga scoring, just description of the nodules. But basically, yung mga description is solid or cystic, and then yung margin, no? Okay. Okay. So, pero mas marami nang gumagamit ng TIRADS because of kasi parang trending yan mga fad yan fad, no? So, pero meron pang mga hindi gumagamit ng TIRADS. Mas gusto ko mga wala ng TIRADS kasi pang pagulo lang yan no? Yung TIRADS, no? Okay. Now, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, pag meron akong thyroid scoring sa report, binabangga ako sa aking physical examination. No? Okay. Kung may nakita ng bukol na thyroid 4, let's say 2.9, tapos hindi naman matigas, okay, malambot lang, hindi matigas. Number 2, wala namang evidence na spread, no? And then, malaking chance pa rin na, as I said, 95 to 5% benign pa rin siya, no? Okay. Now, kung maraming bukol, mas malaking chance na benign siya compared to just one nodule. No? Mas nakakatakot yung isa, no? Kaysa yung marami. No? Okay. So, pag maraming bukol-bukol, kung mayroong mga cystic solid combination, no? Mas malaking chance na benign compared to one solid na nodule na matigas. No? Okay. So, sa kapa, I will try to look for signs for cancer. No? So sa kapa ko, titingnan ko kung gaano katigas yung bukol at kung merong yung di siya masyadong gumagalaw, no? And then, kung may kulani dun sa leeg, sa side, no? Okay. So those are my clues for cancer. Pero kung kahit na sinabi niyang thyroid 4, pwede kong subukan mo na sa gamot or iba-biopsy kung masyadong malaki. No? Okay. In short, ibabangga ko siya. Ibabangga ko yung kung yung mga findings sa ultrasound, and I don't just accept it as as is, but I will respect their findings, no? Okay. Kung anong sinabi nila, i-respect ko, but hindi ibig sabihin susundin ko lahat, no? Titingnan ko rin yung aking examination findings, no? Then, of course, I will discuss this to the patient kasi naka-record sa thyroid 4, no? Tapos may mga recommendations na iba-biopsy. So, I have to discuss it with the patient kung anong gagawin, no? Then, of course, the patient will ask my suggestions. So, I give my suggestion based on my experience, based on my expertise, no? In the past, no? And then, sabihin ko, pwede naman i-observe, no? Okay. Or kung kailangan, kung takot na takot yung pasyente, then we go for the biopsy. Okay? Did I answer your question? Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Yung sa'yo, hindi natin biopsy, di ba?
Opo.
Tama ako, di ba? Diretso na.
Yes, Doc.
Yung mga doktor sa iba-biopsy pa yan, di ba? Okay.
Totoo, Doc.
Okay.
Salamat po.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Sean, no. Sinong may mga experience with thyroids? No questions? So understood, huwag kayo matatakot sa thyroids pag may thyroids kayo. Okay. Just consult a thyroid specialist right away. I posted in my blog, sino ang thyroid specialist? Di ba? Everybody endo can call themselves thyroid specialist, general surgeon can call themselves as thyroid specialist, no? ENT, thyroid specialist, no? Lahat na may thyroid specialist. So in the end, kayo na rin magde-decide kung sinong pupuntahan ninyo, no? Okay. So I won't be, ang nilagay ko lang dun sa aking lecture, okay, not to be self-serving, sabi ko nga, number 1, yung maraming pasyente na thyroid, but it doesn't mean na magaling siya, no? Number 2, yung kumakapa ng leeg, yan ang aking pinaka-importanting criterion, no? Kinakapa yung leg niya. Wag lang just magre-rely sa ultrasound findings, no? Okay. And then, i-correlate nila yung physical findings with the ultrasound, no? Wag lang magre-rely sa ultrasound findings also, no? Okay? So, any more Questions, comments? Wala na. If none, just spread the word around sa mga kamag-anak ninyo. Kung may mga thyroids 4, huwag matakot kagad. Na? Okay. Kasi pag may mga thyroids 4 na, 3, 4, no? Takot na sila eh, no? Magpapanik na yan. Tapos, you have to see a thyroid specialist, no? Whoever he is, basta yung may tiwala kayo, no? Okay. So, if there's a doubt on pwede kayo mag-second opinion, no? Okay. Okay? So, if there are no more questions, we'll call it a day. So, it's 3 o'clock. So, we'll see each other next week. No? Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, Doc. Happy weekend po.
Happy weekend also.
Thank you, Doc.